Are we finally going to find out where Leny Yoro is going to play next year? What about Joao Neves? Is he on the move? Andreas Schjelderup, he's getting a lot of interest. There are so many Wonderkids who are being linked with transfer moves this summer. We're going to start a new segment here called Wonderkid Wednesday so we can break it all down for you here on Soccer Wonderkids at the Pitchside Pub. Welcome back to the Pitchside Pub, where if you followed the channel before, you've seen our Pints and Punditry commentary series where we talk about all sorts of different football topics. We also have our Soccer Wonderkids part of the channel where we talk about the young players that are up and coming, the future stars of the game, and everybody's got a different definition of what a Wonderkid is. For us, we use under the age of 21 because we got to put that line in the sand somewhere or else they're all Wonderkids, as we've seen with some of the Young Player of the Year awards and things like that. But 21 and under is our line, and I love these kinds of stories and this kind of news and these players because these are really pivotal times in a player's career, especially when they hit the transfer market. And the summer transfer window is a huge time for Wonderkids, as a lot of them look to take that next step. Some of them sell for very big fees, and they can get it so right or so wrong. If a young player ends up with the wrong club, it can be an absolute disaster to their development, but if they go to the right club, they can take off and they become the next global superstars. So there is so much high risk, high reward here that I absolutely love this stuff, and there's a lot of news coming out, a lot of rumors, and we're going to talk about that here on a new segment we're calling Wonderkid Wednesdays. We're going to try and do it once a week, maybe a second one on the weekends. I like alliteration if you haven't noticed, so we're going to do this once or twice a week to talk about all these topics. And if you want to go ahead and follow the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me down below so you can keep up to speed on all these types of stories and all the videos that we do. While you're at it, go ahead and get in that comment section. Let me know what you think about these players, any players you'd like to hear about. We'll try to adjust that as we go, so get in that comment section. Let me know what you think. You can also leave some comments on Twitter at Pitchside Pub, and check out the website pitchsidepub.com. So the first one up is Leny Yoro, the Lille defender, who is one of the most highly regarded Wonderkid defenders in the world. He's big, he's strong, he's quick, he's tall, he's physical, he's good with the ball at his feet. He's got the whole package, which is why some of the biggest clubs in the world want him. And it's pretty much a given that he's going to be leaving Lille, and he has made it pretty clear that he wants to go to Real Madrid. And a lot of guys do, and that makes sense. Except there are a lot of other clubs that want him, and the recent news is that Manchester United and Lille have agreed to terms for 60 million euros for Leny Yoro. Now, it's not a done deal. That is far from a done deal because personal terms still have to be reached with Manchester United and Leny Yoro. And the question is whether he really wants to go there or if his heart is really in Real Madrid. And if he does choose Manchester United, is it just for money? Or is it at the over-persuasion of agents, which we have seen a lot of over the years? And if he goes there, is his heart going to be in it? I mean, living in Manchester versus living in Madrid, I get it. Where does he really want to go? So this saga is far from over, but it is noteworthy that Manchester United is the first club that Lille has come to terms with. If you want to know more about Leny Yoro, we did a full profile on him. We've got a link to the video down in the description of this video. You can check that out. He's a super talented defender. I get why he wants to go to Real Madrid. Manchester United, not the draw it once was. Do they still have that pull to get a player to come to Old Trafford instead of going to Madrid? I don't know. We'll see. Or does the price change that? Does a couple, tens of thousands of extra dollars a week change his mind? And then once he gets there, is it still worth it? These are the things that young players have to figure out. The key is always, where is he going to play? Both clubs probably can offer playing time. They both need to rebuild their back lines. It's a big jump for a player like Leny Yoro, but he's probably ready. But he really hasn't experienced that level of play yet at either La Liga or the Premier League. La Liga overall would probably be a better fit for him, but Real Madrid, obviously playing the highest level of football in the world. So it's not like he's jumping to a smaller La Liga club. That would be Real Madrid. And the pressure of going to Manchester United is always at the highest magnitude. So these are two really big jumps for Leny Yoro if this is where he ends up. Liverpool was also very interested. They're sort of the dark horse here, but it's probably down to these main two. And the question is, where does he really want to go? And if he chooses to go to United, will he be happy there, or will his mind and his heart always sort of be in Madrid? So this one is far from over, but he's one of the biggest names on the market this summer, and it looks like he's going to be on the move sooner rather than later. Joao Neves, who made the Portuguese national team for the Euros at just 19, is coming off a great season at Benfica and is obviously getting a lot of interest from a number of clubs. Now, he didn't get to play a ton this summer. He made one start against Georgia, played about 75 minutes, but there's enough interest from his time with Benfica last year that he's going to get linked with big clubs like Liverpool, who he's being linked with at the moment. And Liverpool's late to the transfer party this summer as it is because of the changeover from Jurgen Klopp to Arne Slot. But Slot has a history of playing a double pivot, and so there's a chance that Liverpool is going to need to add at least one, if not multiple, defensive midfielders as they continue to rebuild that midfield from a few years ago where it was a real mess. Last year they took a lot of steps forward, and a player like Joao Neves at 19 would be a fantastic addition to a club like that. He can run, he can hold that pivot, he's a good defensive player, he's got a lot of really strong qualities that would fit with Arne Slot's system. So this is one that is still just getting underway because of Liverpool's delay with the changeover in manager and because Joao Neves was with Portugal. So there's a lot of delay on this one, which is part of why we're just starting to hear these rumors. But that's a link that is out there, and that one would make a lot of sense if Liverpool is willing to spend some big money, because it would take big money to get Joao Neves, but he'd be a player who could be a real centerpiece of a transfer window during a summer. But before we go fitting Joao Neves for that Liverpool jersey yet, in comes a new news report linking him with PSG, who apparently have made a massive offer of 90 million euros plus a player to Benfica as they rebuild from their failed superstar plan to a nice young core, and he would be a really important piece of it. So that's an intriguing new development that really opens this wide up. It could be Liverpool, it could be PSG. We really don't know how this is going to play out, but Joao Neves is getting a ton of attention. While Liverpool was on the horn with Benfica, they might also be discussing winger Andreas Schjelderup, who's a Benfica product even though he was on loan at Norelsgaard last season. And he is a player who has a lot of potential, hasn't proven it in the Portuguese league yet as he went on loan last year, and has a €100 million release clause, which is way more than Liverpool is planning on paying for a player that doesn't quite have the experience yet. However, he's incredibly talented, and one season with Benfica could make the price for him maybe not 100 million, but start to approach that level. However, Benfica has been known to negotiate outside of release clauses and not necessarily hold a team to that if they think they can get anywhere close to it. I don't see this move happening just yet, but Liverpool is in the market for a winger. They're going to have to replace Mo Salah at some point. He's got at least another year left, maybe two, but they're going to have to start filling in some of the gaps there on the depth chart, and he's a guy that I'll bet it doesn't happen this summer, but I'll bet this link is one that could have some legs and end up coming to fruition maybe next summer. Tottenham Hotspur are becoming a destination for young talent, and the next in line could be Jobe Bellingham, younger brother of superstar Jude Bellingham. Now, the younger Bellingham is currently with Sunderland and is probably on the move somewhere as he's getting a lot of interest with a price tag of around 20 million euros, which is not much for what Tottenham has spent lately, with their biggest acquisition being Archie Gray coming just last week. Now they're reaching back down in the Championship. They're being linked with the younger Bellingham, who is not his older brother, but is a really impressive and intriguing prospect in his own right. Now, we saw the elder Bellingham go from the Championship level to Borussia Dortmund before Real Madrid, and we could see his younger brother do something similar, but I wonder if the jump to Tottenham is a little too much right now, not necessarily from a skill set for him, but because of the incredible amount of competition of young midfielders that Tottenham is collecting. Bellingham, just like all young players, needs to play, and there's really a lot of competition for playing time from guys in that 18 to 22-year-old range who are trying to unseat some veterans, particularly in that midfield. Tottenham is collecting an impressive amount of young players. We just did a video on this. You can check out the link in the bio to that as well, and I just wonder if that's the best move for Jobe Bellingham right now, who needs to play, or if there's somewhere between Sunderland and Tottenham, probably in another country like his brother did, where he can go get consistent playing time at a higher level than he's going to get at Sunderland, but not quite as high as he's going to have to expect to have at Tottenham. So he's getting a lot of interest. Remains to be seen where this one goes, but Tottenham not shying away from any big name players right now. So what do you think? Leny Yoro, Joao Neves, Andreas Schjelderup, Jobe Bellingham? Do you want any of these guys on your club? Would you like to shy away from them? Where should they go? Get down in that comment section. Let me know what you think. You can also leave some comments on Twitter at Pitchside Pub. While you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me down below so you can follow the channel, get this and all of our other videos coming straight to your inbox and your phone. And of course, check out the website, pitchsidepub.com. Thanks as always for joining us here on Soccer Wonder Kids at the Pitchside Pub.